Alright, let's get this out of the way. Batman and Superman aren't just great fictional characters, they are the greatest. Period. End of discussion. I mean, we're just talking about two of the most iconic superheroes of all time, the guys who defined what it means to be a hero. And you can argue all you want, but deep down, you know I'm right. But before some of you start screaming, but Spider-Man, chill. I love Spidey, don't get me wrong, he's amazing. But here's the thing. Superman and Batman aren't just superheroes, they're almost mythology. They've been around for over 85 years and are still as relevant today as they were back in the golden age of comics. They are the foundation of everything we love about superheroes today, and every hero that came after are just adding to what those two already built. So today we're breaking down why Superman and Batman aren't just the best superheroes, but the greatest fictional characters ever created. Let's start with Superman, the granddaddy of them all. He was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in Action Comics #1 in 1938. Superman wasn't just another hero, he was the first superhero in the modern sense. Before him, there were pulp heroes like The Shadow and Doc Savage, but they weren't the kind of caped, superpowered icon we think of today. Superman is the original template. Every superhero after him pretty much borrowed from what he established. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room when people say, "Oh, Superman is boring." And to that I say, you are wrong. You are so wrong. Superman isn't about whether he can punch hard enough. It's not about his powers. It's about his character. He has all the power in the world, but he chooses to be good. Think about that for a second. He could literally rule over humanity if he wanted. He could obliterate anyone who gets in his way, but he doesn't. Why? Because he was raised with a moral compass that tells him to help people, not to control them. He's an alien, but he's also the most human superhero of them all. Looking at All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison, this entire story is about Superman realizing that he's dying, and instead of freaking out or making it about himself, he spends his last days making sure that Earth is going to be okay without him. There's this one scene, and I want to be careful for how I say this, but there's this one scene where he stops a girl from unaliving herself. But he doesn't punch a villain or fight a villain. He just talks to this girl and reminds her that she's loved, and he saves her in a way that doesn't involve super strength or his powers. And that is Superman. And let's not forget Superman Birthright by Mark Waid, one of the best retellings in my opinion of his origin. It emphasizes how Clark Kent is just a regular guy from Kansas who happens to be superhuman. But what makes him special is his heart. And on a personal level, Superman is the reason I make comic books. He showed me what a real hero is supposed to be, not just someone who stops bad guys, but someone who inspires people to be better. And if you'd want to check out my comics, go to raycomics.shop to go check them out. Now, if Superman is the ultimate inspiration, Batman, in my opinion, is the ultimate aspiration. Batman is proof that you don't need powers to be a legend. You just need insane willpower, endless wealth, and an unhealthy amount of unresolved trauma. Bruce Wayne saw his parents get murdered as a child, and instead of going to therapy like a normal person should, he decided to become the world's greatest detective, martial artist, and crime fighter all at once. My guy didn't just lift weights, he studied everything: science, criminology, combat tactics. This man is a walking supercomputer in a cape. And let's be honest, if Batman ever actually wanted therapy, Gotham would fall apart in like a week. But what makes Batman great is that he's human. He's a guy with no powers who stands toe-to-toe with gods. He's been in the Justice League alongside Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, people who could literally break the planet in half. But he's the one calling the shots. And why? Because Batman's prepared for everything. One of my favorite Batman moments ever is from Justice League Tower of Babel. In this story, it's revealed that Batman has a contingency plan for every single member of the Justice League on how to take them down, even Superman. And when the League finds this out, they are mad, but Batman's like, yeah, and? You think I'm just gonna let you guys go unchecked? What if one of you snaps? And he's right. Batman doesn't trust anyone, not even his own teammates, and that's what makes him so fascinating. Now, let's talk about his rogues gallery. Joker, he is the best villain of all time, period. You can argue, but you'd be wrong. I might make a video about him another day just because of how amazing he is. Two-Face, the best tragic villain in comics. Mr. Freeze, one of the greatest sympathetic villains ever created. The Riddler, at his best, he's more terrifying than the Joker because he doesn't really rely on chaos. He relies on being smarter than everyone else. But Batman's stories in general are some of the best in all of fiction. The Dark Knight Returns, which is one of my personal favorites, Batman Year One, The Long Halloween, they are all masterpieces. Here's the thing, Batman and Superman aren't just great on their own, but they are great together. They're two sides of the same coin, light and dark, hope and fear, alien and human. One's the guy who saves the world and the other's the guy who protects it. And when they team up, it's just pure magic. Look at World's Finest or The Dark Knight Returns, Public Enemies. Whenever these two are on the same page, you know something legendary is happening. They are the foundation of superhero storytelling, and we live in an age where a new superhero movie drops every few months, but Batman and Superman built this genre, and no matter how many heroes come after them, no one will ever do it better. So yeah, Batman and Superman, they are the greatest fictional characters ever. End of discussion. But hey, that's just my take. What do you think? Drop your favorite Batman or Superman moments in the comments, hit like if you agree, or even if you don't, just for the algorithm, and subscribe for more comic book hot takes.